Hey guys, Tarke here with day 6, I believe, of the Mayhem, and this is a updatey news. We just finished a 16 and a bit hour stream. We are level 98 and 39%. We started the stream at level 96. We went in boys. We are now rank 9 on the ladder. If you look at /ladder, we have at rank 1 /ladder steel /ladder sloth /ladder Gucci /ladder Zane, Russian dude ruining it, dead though so it's fine, /ladder CRM /ladder tofu, Baslo yikes, he's our support, he's going to get his name changed back to /ladder. His first character was /ladder but he died, reroll, didn't think he'd get back up here. Me /ladder Tarke 9, and then /ladder Sparrow dead at 10. Pretty fucking cool. So yeah, that's cool. We are going to go for the 100 push. Me, Baz, we're going for the 100 push on the next stream, and we've said that we're going to start in like 10 hours from now, and we are just going to go until we hit 100 or we both rip. With that being said, I want to show you some clips from some close calls, just some like fun moments. I'll then talk about some gear upgrades that I've made because I've changed quite a lot about the character, and then I'm going to pass out and prepare for the big juice. So when you do 16-hour streams, and when you're doing crazy mayhem, super efficient mapping, you often in this case where you want to take breaks, you want to have a drink, you want to do all sorts, but you can't. And earlier on, I had a really itchy face.
Duh.
Oh, read it.
You
Read
died
it.
like a bunch. Sorry.
I really want to...
We can get to 100 like this.
Please let this map end. Oh my... Yeah, it's RuneScape music in the background.
Right.
Fucking hell. Oh.
We're done.
I really had an itchy nose. Really itchy nose. We've had a lot of crashes today. Again, we are just chasing Strongbox every hour. We've been mostly playing in... We started in a party of 2, then in a party of 3, did a party of 4 for a pretty long time, then we went back down to a party of 3. We had a lot of crashes. We've had about 6 crashes of individual people. I personally have crashed 6 times today. This was the spoopiest crash.
It does, like this.
Yeah.
It feels
like...
stupid for me to... Oh my crash.
Lag. We all crashed.
Oh,
Yeah.
are we dead?
We all dead, boys. Rip dream.
No, please don't be dead.
I'm out, I think.
I'm alive.
Hang on.
If you were in my range,
I'm alive.
I'm alive.
Fuck that, man. So we all DC'd, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
What the fuck?
Castle and damaged mines might have saved us then. I dropped a bunch of mines.
I think there wasn't that many monsters around.
But yeah. One thing I will quickly mention there, so Castle Norwich taken mines. You can see that like we cleared most of it, but this is a beyond map, so a bunch of mobs could have spawned back in after we kill it. I do make a point of running Castle Norwich taken mines, and it's something I say every miner should do, but not many miners do it. So level 1 Castle Norwich taken, Immortal Call to procure Immortal Call, detonate mines, enfeeble level 5 with quality if you have it, right? So if I get hit, my Immortal Call procs, so it can be immune to fizz damage, the monsters get enfeebled, and any mines that I have placed all detonate. Really nice protection against disconnects and also against freeze. Because the whole time I'm mapping, I'm dropping mines and stuff. If I ever get hit, boom, everything detonate, everything dies, I'm safe. So that's just a thing you should do on your miners. Now, we did have a few incidents, and this happened earlier. Feels good and or bad, man. This is from Kane's point of view. You can see he's now got 8.2k life and Mom. We actually got him to respec. He was playing Freeze Pulse Totems. He then respec'd into EK Nova because he hated his Freeze Pulse build. The problem with that is he was then killing monsters sometimes, making my dual-inspired learnings less effective. So we got him to respec into a full tank box opener. His only job was to open boxes, pick up loot, and he wore all the XP gear. So this is from his point of view of us doing some Shaped Atoll tier 13s with, I think this might have been a Monsters, yeah, this was a Monsters treasure map we did. Yeah. So one more time. In this group, we have Baz, who is a Guardian support, and we have a lovely little fellow who you'll see more of later on, who is doing a coruscating elixir. That's why his health keeps dropping. Low life support occultist. It's a funky build. Apparently he's done this with like 6 times in the past, so he's used to it. We actually had a Shavs drop. We offered him a Shavs. He said, no, I'm fine with coruscating elixir. And he runs a bunch of blasphemies. So Kane runs ahead to open these 2 strong boxes. He hasn't got a Guardian in range. He hasn't got any blasphemies. You can see his curses. His curses are actually about to all fall off. You can see 1%, 1 second, 1 second. All his curses are off. He hasn't reapplied his curses. He's opened 2 big strong boxes. These are scary tibby bitch monsters. Deads. Yeah. This is just a case of his Immortal did proc. He was just doing a rippy map, didn't press his flask, spaced out, and ran out of range of triple purities, blasphemies, curse effects, temp chains, and feeble. And yeah. This is another reason why just stacking raw effective EHP isn't that great. You want to have layered defense because he had a lot of life. You can see he's, you know, just shy of like 9 to 10k life. But that doesn't do very much when you just take the dick. So yeah, so Kane has rip sadly. He is re-rolling. We rushed him through a few bosses just before I finished up the stream. And he's got a full curse on hit setup. He's remaking a curse on hit champion to help with the 100 push. Feels good, man. So you know how I said that we had a certain lovely coruscating elixir guy? He's a little bit special. I like him. He joined us from 96. He mapped us from 96 to 98. It wasn't until I hit 98 he realized I was playing a minor. He pays a lot of attention. And here's some words of wisdom.
Just set your hand. No, just listen. Set your hand on A, W, E, R, and space, and it's a natural. I don't.
So yeah, just
set your hand. No, just listen. Set your hand on A, W, E, R, and space, and it's a natural. I don't.
So yeah, he's a fun guy, and we're going to be chilling with him more on the stream tomorrow. So there's that. And this is just a fun little clip of the state I was in at the end of today's stream, making some questionable judgments when I was just trying to fix up the final bit of min-max before the 100 push tomorrow. So it's fine. I'm leaving it at that. I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to bed. Going to bed. Well, no, I'm recording a YouTube. We're recording a YouTube video. But it's... Anyway. So we're now going to record a YouTube video, boys. Coherent thinker. So yeah, coherent thinker. That is why you watch me. What have we changed about the gear? So, you've seen all the map play. You've seen how we do things. See, we just run around. Explosions, explosions, explosions. What have I changed? We are now running a Queen of the Forest. I was running a 6-link belly. We swapped it to the Queen of the Forest. I have 29% movement speed without my Jade. With my Jade, I go up to 42% movement speed. My Aurabot runs a Grace. He gives me 30% movement speed from that. So when I'm near him, I'm at 59%. It then goes up. It then goes up again. And then I also have my Quicksilver. And then I also have a phase run, and I've done some shenanigans with that to get juicy 200% movement speed without Grace, using a Lycosidae with a Queen of the Forest. Also, I use Star Conjures. Star Conjures gives me 150% increased global evasion rating when on low life. So if I do get low, I get a massive speed boost, helping me get out of dodge faster. And because my build doesn't leech, doing the reduced damage on low life doesn't mess with my leech at all, and also gives me a tiny bit of crit, making my crit chance slightly more consistent. So there's that. I was, for a long time, running... I was swapping between... Well, this was the army I started with when I needed lightning res. And this is like my big DPS army. You can see it has all attributes, a good amount of life. It has some energy shield. It has some lightning damage. It has some crit multi. It has some global crit chance. Really nice, just DPS army. It makes my numbers go higher, surprisingly. But we do run the Biscos when I am in need of sextants, and sextants are the major block for us at the moment. We peaked at about 900 chaos, I believe. During the day, we had multiple things drop. Notable things that dropped for us today, we got 6-link shortbow, 6-link Katava's Feast. We had 4 bellies, 1 taste of hate, a Comb's Heart, a Shavs, a few other random things, a few Vis Mortises, +1 Soul Strike, I think I already had that. Loads of random 6-links. We get a lot of 6-links from all these strong boxes, especially when we get the Corrupted Sextants, and they've actually been selling really well. I've sold multiple of Corrupted, because you often get the mirrored as well. And pro tip, always sell the mirrored one off first, just because some people like or dislike that stuff. I've been selling them anywhere between like 30 to 70C each, depending on how good they are. To be honest, this could be a bit cheaper. Let's just make this 50, so make sure it sells. And it's just a way of just making sure you always have some money coming in. Other gear that I've been swapping between, other wands I've been swapping between. This is my current wand. I crafted this wand. And if you wonder why I have all these flasks, there is a recipe you can do. So just quickly, here is a lightning damage wand with a topaz flask. If we then get an augment, and you vendor it, boom, 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 you get a 1 tier higher of flat lightning damage, and it will roll into that. And you can do this up to tier 2. So what I've been doing is actually put topaz, granites, and sapphire flasks onto my loot filter, and I run a very strict loot filter. And when I can, I very rarely pick up loot because I'm too busy, you know, being KB minor. But when I can pick up loot, I pick up the odd flask here and there if you ever have like a breach hour or whatever. And then I can just do this little vendor recipe to get easy tier 2 flat damage. Boom, boom, boom. And it doesn't go past tier 2. That's an important thing to note. This is jump. Can't do that anymore. That is tier 2. And I'll just show you. Get one more topaz flask out.
Need a map?
See, it doesn't work. So you can only do up to tier 2. So you then auger. You hit in. This is a dead wand. You'd start again. But it's one of those things that if it makes the crafting process a lot easier. Because of that, I've crafted a lot of wands. Can we do one more on that? No, that's also another dead one. Anyway, I've crafted a lot of wands. So these are kind of like the things that I've crafted. And these have all been without level 7 masters. So you kind of just have to take what you can get. You basically get 1 mastercraft on there. And you just do a lot of exalted slams. So here we have some fizz, some cold, some lightning, some mana regen, some crit. Here we have fizz, lightning, crit, bit of mana, bit of multi. Then we've got cold, lightning, lightning to spells, sadly, crit, and then we got dicked on the exalts. And then here we have the % fire, % lightning, lightning, crit, crit, multi. This is basically the best one I've crafted, but this one actually sims out higher in a lot of cases. But depending on if you are solo, if you're in group, what auras you have active, it's really awkward to work out. We need to factor in stuff like penetration. It's very hard to work out the exact like tooltips of these things and stuff like path of building, because you're having to take into effect other people's curses and other people's auras, their effectiveness. It's a bit messy basically, but you can sort of halfway it by going, oh, this to this. Well, that's 4.4 and that's 5,000, so that's probably better, but that doesn't take into account the % fire damage scaling anger, the % lightning damage scaling wrath. You can already see how it gets very complicated very, very quickly. But anyway, this is my setup. My links are faster casting, flame dash, detonate mines, all with quality for the zoomiest zoom. The main thing I want to talk about is phase run. Phase run is absolute bay. I was running smoke mine for a while. I now phase run the start of every map. If I ever need to pick up loot, phase run, pick up loot, move, phase run, pick up loot, move, whatever, get around. And I run a soon to be level 20 phase run with quality. Quality gives more movement speed. In an Lycosidae with increased duration with quality gives more duration. And a level 3 enhance. Enhance gives increased quality to support active gems, because the quality on phase run is movement speed. We gain 8% movement speed from this. It's just kind of nice, and anything we can do to eke out more movement speed is good. Ideally, you would have a corrupted +1 shield, which would give +1 to the phase run, giving more movement speed, and it would give you a level 4 enhance, giving you more movement speed. I've corrupted a few Lycosides and not had any luck. I don't want to brick my current one because these are the wrong colors, sadly. I am still running the Herald of Ice Enlightened setup with level 3. Detonate Mine Spell Totem, just a single one. I originally had fast casting them, but I dropped it to get the movement speed on this. Also, since we mostly map clear, I don't really drop this very often. You could actually drop this completely and just go with Decoy Totem to to push mobs to walls easier. I'm tired. Enfeeble, Detonate Mines, Cast No Shaken, already covered. And then Vol Clarity, faster cast, increased duration. I use the Jade Flask, and I just have good uptime on 2 Vol Clarities, have a bunch of mana regen to make up for the fact that I no longer run a mana pot. It works with 2 Vol Clarities, because during Vol Clarity, your skills cost no mana. And I have pretty good regen, so it just sort of works. Pantheon is actually kind of important. Soul of Naris gives me Physmit and movement speed for all nearby enemies. Chance to avoid projectile damage, chance to dodge attack spells if I've been hit recently. And I shouldn't actually be using that. I should be using this, Soul of Grothkol, and I'm glad I noticed that, which gives me Fizz damage for each hit I've taken recently up to 5%. Enemies that hit you with attack recently have 8% reduced attack speed. I guess I swapped that for a trial. I'm really glad I noticed that. That's really important, actually. So this gives me some Physmit on a mostly evasion-based character. That's really important. I would have felt like an idiot if I died for that. Anyway, so yeah, I have some life. This is a decent ring because it has over 100 life. It has percent elemental damage with attacks. This is very important with auras and aura bots. Percent elemental damage with attacks scales auras far harder than flat damage, so it's more important. It does still have a flat lightning craft. Then I have this ring, which has good life roll, has some resist. Some flat energy shield is still good because I have what only looks like 120 energy shield. But with my aura bot, I'm at 2k because of the effectiveness of his discipline, and because the way that Inspired Learning works, and the fact that Inspired Learning steals mods from enemies, I very regularly reach upwards of 30,000 energy shield. I think the most effective life I've had has been 10k life and 38k energy shield. I'll show you some clips of that tomorrow, hopefully after we hit 100 or when we rip at 98 or 99. So that is that. So yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Is this build solo viable? Yes, you just build the build slightly differently. If you look at my skill tree, you can see I have like no damage mods or any damage nodes. I don't have Saboteur, I don't have Arcing Bloats, I don't have Crackling Speed, I don't have Throat Seeker, I don't have Tempest Blast, I don't have all of these crit multi-nodes. I haven't even taken Blast Radius, haven't got this, haven't taken Catalyze. For jewels, I have 1 jewel here giving me some life, some Chaos Res, because Chaos is important, tiny bit of damage, some stats. I need the dex, otherwise my build doesn't work. Here I have a jewel which just gives me life, mana, and resist. This is a mom build, having some scaling is nice. Life, and then Inspired Learning, Inspired Learning. So yeah, this is actually pretty like budget, funnily enough, ignoring, like if you took off the expensive items, the expensive item is a 6th link, Queen of the Forest, but you can use a Lionized Vision as a budget chest. If you 5-link a Lionized Vision, it's still a 6th link because it gives you Pierce. If you can't afford a 6th link and I run Pierce as a 6th link, you get Pierce on the tree. So you can do it on just a 5-link, something got listed. Silly helm, that doesn't matter. Anyway, there's actually a lot of surprisingly strong budget options for this build. If you don't have a Taste of Hate, and normally you don't need a Sapphire Flask, just run a Basalt, right? We don't run any crazy OP DPS flasks because we don't have a good Fizz wand. This gives us 200 damage, it's like whatever. Like you don't need it for map clear. We don't rely on any crazy unique items. The Biscos doesn't increase our map clear, actually lowers it. It just gives us more quant. Lycosidae is really easy to get. It's very easy to chance as well because of the base item. You could use an S shield instead. If you didn't have this, you'd then need to worry about accuracy a little bit, but that's whatever. The jewelry is decent, but this isn't anything to write home about, and this is just crafted Elrion mod on a ring with elemental damage attacks. The only good thing about this ring is the fact it has a lot of life. My gripped gloves are just life and some resists. The only reason I'm using these is because they have evasion for the Queen of the Forest. My belt is life, a little bit of res, and then I only got this belt so I could craft movement speed on it because I want movement speed. And then my helmet's a Star Conjures. The attack speed doesn't do anything for me. I get a little bit of crit from it. So yeah, the only thing which actually, like, the only mandatory item in my setup which makes the build is the Inspired Learning. But if you didn't have the Inspired Learnings, you would suddenly have, let me just show you something real quick, an additional, this point would go here. You'd have additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would drop all of this. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. You have additional 24 skill points that you could then spend into damage nodes, right? So you can very easily do this on a solo budget. You can very easily do this as a league starter. Just do exactly what I did. Do GC mines to level. Get any wand. Get a Lycosidae. That's it. If you can get a 5-link, great. If you can't, whatever. You don't need any crazy uniques. I used this chest for a very long time. Emperor of Purity. They're cheap. They're like 5C a card. Get a full set. You get yourself a 6-link. You then throw a few chromes into it. It works. Color-wise, it's also a very easy build to color. You have a lot of flexibility. The mandatory links are 3 blue, 1 green. As I said, you don't need Pierce. If you haven't got the Pierce gem, if you haven't got the colors for it, you can get Pierce on the tree. You don't need added cold. You can use added lightning. You can use elemental damage with attacks. You can use damage on full life. You can use crit chance. You can use crit damage. You can use Pierce. There's loads of things you can use. You have so much flexibility that you just get whatever 5 or 6 link you can. You get whatever colors on it you can. And as long as you have the core 4 link, you're okay. Wonders are good. And it's reflect immune. But that doesn't matter in 3.1. But for the sake of not making another 30-minute video complaining about reflect, yeah. It is what it is. Any other unique chest options other than Lion Eyes, Belly of the Beast, Queen of the Forest? You could use a Hiri's Ire if you were really greedy and you wanted more damage. That is the dodge, spell dodge chest, but it gives 50 to 70 flat cold damage on it. Maybe for the softcore bros on a super budget, really worried about not having enough DPS. And again, I haven't got any crazy helm enchants. Never did use any crazy helm enchants. So yeah. Yeah. Basically, the point I'm trying to say is this is actually a really good build, and I would recommend it. And I'm hopefully going to be level 100 tomorrow. I'm tired. Rank 9, by the way. Haha! Put your hand on Q and space. Bye-bye.